got some breaking news now in the search for a missing 7-year-old. Our Ashlyn Mitchell has been on the scene.
We want to go straight to Ashlyn right now for an update. Ashlyn.
Yeah, Lenise and Shelby, I'm super excited to say that they have found Jackson Hillman. I'm getting choked up because it's been an hours-long search. It's something that people across our area, including our station, have been praying for. And I'm just going to show you, this is seconds after they just made that announcement. His family is obviously overjoyed and deeply thankful. We see people hugging, we see people crying. Just a beautiful scene out here on Odom Road. This is exactly what everyone was hoping for. Now, like I said again, this happened seconds ago. I have not had the chance to speak to his family yet because they are all doing what they need to do, embracing each other and just celebrating at the fact that sweet 7-year-old Jackson was found. So again, we're just taking a look at his family over there. 7-year-old Jackson has been found after a nearly 7.5 hours long search by multiple agencies assisting in this day. So we will have an update from law enforcement. We are about to speak to them once they've spoken to the family. So of course we'll have more details on how Jackson was found and everything that led up to this sweet, joyous reunion for his family. A total of 5 apartment units were struck by gunfire, including this one here behind me. Take a look at that first floor window. 5 people have been shot and 1 person is dead in what's unfolded as a just emotional, tragic scene behind me. The victims range from 13 to 60 years old. As you know, today is Mother's Day, so there are several hurting families. It's just too dangerous for smaller boats, and if I take a step out of the way, you'll see exactly why. Sheriff Paul Burch tells me that the boat was found about a mile from the shore here in Pelican Bay. Now I'm standing nearly feet away from where this devastating collision happened last night. Let me catch you up to speed as to what's going on. Investigators' work is far from over. One of the suspects gets out of the police cruiser and takes off down the street. Can you just walk us through what you're seeing right now in person? Matthews will be held without bond under Anaya's law. Now, court documents show Beck allegedly hit the victims with a belt repeatedly. An MPD officer appears to throw a young woman to the ground. Victim after victim loaded onto ambulances in broad daylight. After doing some digging, I discovered he's had similar charges in other states. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what we are looking at in real time. Early voting is in full swing here in downtown Pensacola today, but the trick is you want to use the warmth of your hand to really pack that snowball in. Thanks for looking in on your Thursday afternoon. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell. Lenise and Shelby are on location. We'll be checking in with them shortly today, but first, thank you for watching Fox 10 News at 4. We've seen power outages, trees falling over, and debris being moved by powerful winds. Our Natalie Williamson just got back to the studio from Old Shell Road where some damage happened. And Natalie, what was out there? Well, tonight, police say 1 person is dead and 6 others are injured. A miracle for an innocent man shot in downtown Mobile. We're hearing from the victim of a brazen shooting at an 8-mile convenience store this week. It's beginning to look a lot like Chris. Well, lucky for you, we're running out of time, so you don't have to hear me sing. It is a storm tracker alert day, Nick. We've got some storms tonight, don't we?
Yes, this is going to be a rather elevated threat.
They tell me they've called Pritchard Police for updates on the case several times, but have only been met with crickets. Tonight, 3 men are dead after getting caught in a rip current in Panama City Beach. Some quick breaking news tonight. Right now, Mobile police are working a traffic accident involving 1 fatality. We're taking a live look through our ALDOT camera now. It's a little tough to see, but there is that backup.
As I was getting up, I was seeing the dead bodies on the ground. Every day I wake up, I'm just like, I just thank God that I'm here.
Alexis Scott Wyndham has a bullet lodged in her right foot and a leg that bears the marks of the New Year's morning attack in New Orleans. A Mobile native, Alexis says she headed out to Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve for a fun night with friends.
We usually celebrate New Year's in Mobile at the Moon Pot Drop. We saw everybody talking about New Orleans, so we decided to go down there for different scenery. So when we got down there, everybody was having a good time. It was a nice vibe. But in an instant, Bourbon Street became a nightmare. Next thing you know, we hear a lot of screaming, and we hear a noise go boom, 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 boom. And next thing you know, I looked to the left so fast, I seen a car. He was coming towards me. He had his lights off.
At first, she says she thought the truck was a drunk driver, but she quickly realized that wasn't the case.
When the car got closer, I'm like, no, this can't be a drunk driver, because he would have wrecked by now. So it was like he was going like, I'm going to say about 70 miles per hour. He was trying to speed up. He was trying to hit as many people as possible.
Alexis says she was walking on the sidewalk when she was hit by the truck and a flying bullet.
When I tried to run away, I couldn't run on my foot. That's when I knew something was wrong. When I looked down, it was leaking blood.
The bullet hit the side of her left foot. Meanwhile, Alexis says a Good Samaritan took her to the hospital, and when she got there, she says the scene is an image she can't erase.
They even had to call in extra nurses and people that had just got off. They had to call them back in. But I really want to thank the hospital. Everybody was so nice. They made sure I was good.
Alexis says while she was lying on the ground, she couldn't stop thinking about her 1-year-old daughter. What was that first hug with your daughter like when you got back?
It felt like everything. It just felt like my heart was complete. Like it just, like my heart was like this, and she just brought it together.
It's certainly not the outcome so many people were hoping for. Now, that said, the sheriff's office wants to stress that if any boaters or people on the beaches see anything, to contact them right away and they'll investigate. The sun has set on the search for Hunter Slazak, a precious 7-year-old boy who captured the hearts of people on the Gulf Coast and beyond.
He's become Little Hunter to people on the island.
On November 29th, Hunter, his father Michael, and friend Sam Woolley went shrimping in Pelican Bay, but they never came home. Slazak, who was the head baseball coach at Sims Middle School, and Woolley, a Vietnam veteran, husband, and grandfather, were both found dead in the water just south of Dauphin Island the next day. Hunter was nowhere to be found.
The mom wants her son recovered so she can, say a proper goodbye, and we will expend all resources that we have to help accomplish that.
And so launched a fervent search from the land, water, and sky. The tragedy prompting people from far and wide to help bring Hunter home.
It's just something that touched home, and I decided to do it. I have the boat, I have the capability, so we're going to attempt and hope to bring some closure to his mother.
That very quest for closure had many people in tears.
I feel so sorry for the mother there. I really do. Yeah, he hits home.
One local mother, so touched by the search, drove to the water daily to pray for Hunter's return.
When I see another mom that's hurting, I can't not pray.
And then a vigil on Fort Morgan turned strangers into friends as they lit candles and threw flowers in the Gulf to honor Hunter's life.
I know what that feeling is when everything is normal and then it's just yanked out from under you.
Jeff Collier, mayor of Dauphin Island, commends each person who worked from sunup to sundown, sometimes through the night, to look for little Hunter.
We saw it with, residents and businesses bringing food and other supplies to the other first responders that were here. And I just think that's what Dauphin Island's all about, particularly in times of need like that.
A United Cajun Navy pilot says they flew Hunter's mother and Woolley's wife over the search area of Dauphin Island one last time on Sunday. An obituary on the Mobile Funeral Service website reads, quote, Hunter was full of smiles and gave lots of hugs and exemplified happiness. He watched out for others and was so kind. He loved his family, playing sports and being outside. He was so very loved and will be truly missed. While the search is over, Collier says the community has only grown closer.
It gives you a good feeling to know that so many people would step up in a time of need.
And if you'd like to read Woolley and Hunter's father's obituaries, we have them on our website at fox10tv.com. Again, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office encourages boaters and volunteers still looking for Hunter to contact them right away with any leads. Reporting live in studio, Ashlyn Mitchell, Fox 10 News.
I was coerced, I was deceived. It's a whole mind game.
Every day, millions of people are sold to the monster of human trafficking. 20 years ago, one woman found herself in its powerful grip. For the very first time, she's sitting down with me, ready to share her story.
If I can get this out there, then maybe somebody can hear it and not go through the same thing that I went through.
She says her story begins when she was introduced to drugs and moved to New York City.
I was 20 years old at the time. I was staying in a homeless shelter. I ended up going out one night for some reason and I got lost. It started getting dark.
That night, she says a man overheard her asking a street vendor for directions.
It offered to give me a ride to go back to the shelter, and I agreed. That would be great. Very naive, very naive. And then so he offered me a job opportunity because I didn't have any money.
But there was no job.
There was this other guy who kind of stepped in and it was like, do you want to go with me? I was like, well, I don't want to get killed by this guy, because he was a pimp. I ended up staying there for 4 months. I tried multiple times to get home.
After months of abuse and torture, she met a man who helped her escape back to Mobile. Although physically free, she says emotionally she was trapped.
Once I got out, I did not get help. That's the key. I did not get help. I was in shame. I didn't even really understand what really just happened to me. It just happened so fast.
After tumultuous years of victories and relapses, she finally found peace.
Trauma lives in our body, and so because I didn't deal with it, this cycle, it just goes, there's a whole cycle.
Now she's using her story to counsel others who are facing similar trauma.
I'm working on my social work degree so I can get my master's and do trauma therapy. My higher power, who I choose to call Jesus, my Lord and Savior, he's really just been there with me the whole time.
As she continues to heal, she says her biggest regret is not getting help sooner.
If I knew the resources was there, I would have been able to take care of it back then and not have to go through the whole re-victimization.
One local woman is doing what she can to help stop the re-victimization. She's opened a home for girls and young women who've been trafficked and exploited. Chris Zebach is the founder of Camille Place. She says survivors are usually taken to detention centers or placed in foster care, places not equipped to handle the trauma they've endured.
They've been sold to various people, even through the night. They are tired, they are hungry, scared to eat.
So in 2020, with an army of donors and volunteers, the 16-bedroom home Camille Place was born. In the past year, 12 young girls have found refuge at Camille Place, the youngest just 11 years old. Zebach says a majority of the girls have been trafficked by the ones closest to them.
The familial trafficking is at an all-time high. Majority of the children that we have served have been because of the families being involved in the trafficking.
Early on, she says many of them sleep with blankets over their heads.
You walk in the room in the morning and you see them laying on their back with their head exposed, and you realize then that she's now found peace.
It's a chance to start over.
Last year at Christmas, all of them wanted, including the 19-year-old, a baby doll. They have been robbed of their childhood. They've been robbed of their innocence.
The home offers holistic healing through nutrition, therapeutic activities like gardening and painting, and even accredited education.
And some have not even known how to spell their name, and we get them on an individualized program based on where they are. So they may be 16 and on a 3rd grade level.
Just this year, 2 girls even graduated high school. Currently, 20 staff members serve at Camille Place, providing around-the-clock care.
We have a residential coordinator, we have a program director, we have the house moms, cooks, staff, therapists come in.
The survivor we spoke to couldn't hide her smile when she learned about Camille Place.
I saw your eyes light up when I was talking about Camille Place earlier and how girls have that step 1 process right after they've been trafficked. They have that source of hope.
Yeah.
Do you wish that you would have had something like Camille Place in your situation?
Absolutely, absolutely. I wish that I would have had Camille Place whenever I got out of that. I wish I would have had a crisis center whenever I went through my psychosis.
And she says women aren't the only ones affected.
It's just as bad for the men as it is for the girls.
Chris Zebach is bridging the gap that exists in survivor resources, and she's opening the nation's first safe home for boys under 16 rescued from human trafficking. I'll take you there tomorrow in part 2 of Darkness to Light.